I think maybe even Dirty Jersey Rat. Dirty Jersey. Yay! I love that song.
So I was going to open today's episode by playing a clip of this recent Tookie and Shuli thing that's been going on. It came pretty much out of nowhere. I didn't know that there was a type of feud between them. Tookie has been talking shit about TSN fans, me making fun of the type of show that Shuli does, all that type of shit. I was going to play a clip of it, but I gotta be honest with you, it's kind of fucking boring. And no offense to Tookie, it wasn't really his best work. So I would have to say, basically, I'm going to start with you, Nick, on this one, because it leads into the lawsuit question. Do you think that Tookie actually has a right to call Shuli out for grifting?
I mean, you always have a right to call someone out for grifting. The question is, do people like... So let me make sure I understand. The accusation is that Shuli is bringing a lawsuit to sue Stuttering John or something, and it's over a false DMCA, right? And then he is trying to crowdfund that lawsuit, and the accusation is like, why are you doing this in the first place? And you're just doing it with other people's money, and you're kind of wasting other people's money on this bogus lawsuit, or like, even if it's a legitimate lawsuit, people are seeing it as a waste. Am I correct in my assessment that that's the accusation?
Hang on, I just got to address one thing here. This comment by, where did his name go? Final Boss. Hit the, because I'm ignoring the chat. Hey, dickhead, I didn't bring Nick on so that I could read the fucking chat. That's what Lemmi is here for, but Lemmy's not here. So what the fuck do you want me to do? Do you want me to completely ignore him and go, what? If you see people spamming, you can block them, and that'll fucking do it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Final Boss. What the fuck, bro?
Yeah. But anyway, Buckman, what do you think of that sort of stuff?
Look, I think it's a valid lawsuit. I think that claims of grifting are kind of bullshit. I mean, people can spend their money any way they want.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing. If it's a grift, the problem would be is if he was lying, right? If he was saying, "Oh, I want to raise like $100,000 to do a lawsuit," and then he just goes out and buys a Tesla or something, that'd be bad. But if people let me educate people on this. Some people don't care if he wins or loses the lawsuit, but they care that it happens, so they're going to fund it. And I think he's been really successful in his fundraising, right? Like, shockingly successful from what I heard. It was well into the 5 figures, approaching 6 figures or something. And that was a while back. I think he's over that now. So it's like people have no problem donating to this because either they don't like John Melendez, they do like Shuli, they believe in the lawsuit, or they just want drama. Whatever reason, people are funding it. Okay, who cares? Why does it bother anybody else on the planet what other people do with their money? So long as it's not funding the abuse of children or something crazy. But just like, oh my God, someone's funding a lawsuit that I really don't agree with? Yes, so what? They weren't going to give the money to you. Hey, what's up, Lemmi?
Hi.
Lem.
I'm so sorry. I was making dinner.
That is so selfish.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's a lot of spam in the chat, Lemmi. If you could try and block any, you see?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, but why do you think that specifically Tookie is going after Shuli? Because, like, Tookie has a lot of paywall and membership stuff. So
that I don't, I'll confess to not knowing enough about any of these people to like make an assessment of their motivations. I know of Tookie from This Little Piggy. I'm not really familiar with Shuli because I don't watch Jews. That's a joke. I don't give a shit. I've never had cause to watch his content. I'm completely neutral on it. I don't know really anything about it. I just know that I know that Stuttering John's lawsuit against Carl and Shuli is complete bullshit. Like, it's absolute nonsense. I know that much, and so in that I support Shuli. But as for like Tookie's motivations to call him out, I couldn't tell you. I don't know enough.
Buckman, you just did a whole show with Quadfather, which, from what I understand, you lost the debate defending Shuli. But seeing the Tookie has gone after Shuli, what's your take on that?
I don't get it. I'm like, I almost feel like Nick. I have no idea what his motivation is for going after Shuli, and I also don't know why he would care. And my view of this lawsuit is that getting issues like this settled are better for everyone.
Right. What about Tookie going after Shuli, though?
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand it.
Tookie's not suing Shuli.
I understand that. What I said is I don't understand why Tookie is going after Shuli. I don't get what this supposed grift is. You know, I don't know what does Tookie want him to do? Just sit there and ignore it and not get hit?
I have a theory that this could potentially be a behind-the-scenes agreement of a work, and that they both can now do this to rile up their chats, to rile up their donations, to get a whole lot of income coming in from it. Because you know how the dab is, bro. Everybody's always looking for the next piece of content.
But you think everything's a work?
Well, that's because it's all a work.
Well,
I'll accept a work if it's a good work. I'm not even kidding. If you work hard enough and you're creative enough, I'll rally behind a good work. I'm not even kidding. Denny Dimes, thanks for the 5. The junkie lawyer and the ESO lookalike support the GoFundMe grift. End of story. Let's all give our money to Shuli.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? Give your money to whoever the fuck you want at all times. It should never be anyone else's concern how you spend your money. Now, the one thing I could say is if Tookie determined that Shuli was lying, he may be like, hey, that's like, that's a fraud, or you're lying to people to take their money. That's a misrepresentation. You can complain about that validly, of course. So like, because you can care that other people are being taken advantage of. But it seems on this one, it's pretty straightforward. I'm doing this lawsuit. Here's the documents. It's filed. This lawsuit is available publicly on Pacer, if I'm not mistaken. So like, where's the grift? Where's the misrepresentation? Everybody can read it. People can analyze it and make their own decisions. I don't see the problem with it.
Hit the like button. We got 200 watching. Let's get 300 likes. And Nick, you're about to laugh your head off at what's coming here with the drop, which is a trademark. Lemmi?
Voltaire, thanks for the 10 lodge. I don't like Zionists. Baracco is off here. SJ used free hack attorneys in an attempt to bankrupt TSN. He also hurt their business with bad faith strikes. They asked fans to help pay to sue Stuttering John. Fair.
Well, what we do before we respond to that, Nick, we have a thing we do for anything over 10 is called a large. So we do a little thank you to the people for donating a large.
I hate you because you told me I was going to laugh. So I was like, I'm not going to laugh. And I did anyway. Fucker.
And the thing is, the more generous the people are, the more we get to play that. And of course, don't forget our gifted membership drop, Lemmi, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. But this one, of course, just going back to this, Nick, he said that they asked the fans to help pay to sue SJ. Now, on one hand, I get it, because SJ is trying to shut down the show that those fans get. And this is just for devil's advocate. At the same time, they've made a lot of fucking money over the years off those same fans. That was Lemmi, not me. Do you think that it's kind of mad in a way to be making all this money from them and then to ask for more to start up a lawsuit that they're filing?
No, I don't think it's. I want to reiterate. I don't give a shit about like this subject and these people. Like, it's not a show I watch or anything. I have nothing positive or negative about this. Right, so I'm completely neutral. Basically, I almost don't know who Shuli is. I could not tell you. I couldn't identify his voice, his face, his show. Like, I wouldn't know. That's not to say anything about it. It's just not in my purview. So saying it this way, though, is like he didn't do the show and make the money to file a lawsuit. He did the show and made the money to make a show, that it provides him income. He provides people entertainment. It provides him income. Someone goes to harm that business. You can say it'd be wise of someone to save up and fund their own lawsuit. They made a lot of money off it, but they didn't make money off of someone else. They monetized, sure, Stuttering John in various ways and some of his attacks on their channel, but that's not like filing this lawsuit is not what they are doing the show for. It's not what they've earned their income on. They've earned their income on the entertainment that they provide, right? And yeah, they're initiating it, I guess. But here's the problem with any copyright thing. These things cost to take a copyright claim to federal court. You're talking about $100,000. Win or lose, it's $100K. And your recovery on a show like a YouTube stream, your recovery could very well be, a couple $1,000s maybe if you win on something like a false DMCA or whatever. You can't it's a system that's too expensive for the outcome, and it's kind of engineered that way. So if you want to actually go for the principle and fight for it, and you've got people who think that maybe false DMCA strikes are a bad thing and need to be punished, the only way you're going to do it is if you've got help or if you've got a free lawyer or something. Because I'm telling you, like it's going to cost $100,000 over a show where if you get false DMCA'd, you're losing $100. Like, and the court's not going to give you $100,000. The court's not necessarily going to give you fees if you win, and you may not win at all. But sometimes the fight and the principle is worth it, but the funding isn't there. And no one's got $100K. Like, I don't care how much you're making. No one's got $100K socked away to throw into a lawsuit that they shouldn't have to do. They shouldn't be getting falsely struck, right? Like, they shouldn't have their business interfered with. Their audience shouldn't have to deal with these issues either. So if they're willing to pay for it, again, why is anybody complaining about someone saying, hey, are you guys willing to pay for this? And people saying yes. Who cares?
Do you think in a weird way that Shuli's lawsuit should be against YouTube itself instead of Stuttering John? Because they're the ones that have set up this system that can have such easily manipulated DMCAs.
No, it's actually not. YouTube is not responsible for how the DMCA system works. It operates according to the statute. The places where YouTube is bad on DMCA is when they give special treatment to companies like NBC and stuff like that with the Olympics or the companies that host World Cup. If you play like a clip of the Olympics, it's going to get struck, and you can counter it with a full like good faith transformative argument, and they're gonna uphold the copyright takedown. They don't abide by the DMCA there. You have a good complaint on YouTube's policies. But how YouTube normally does DMCA, where someone files a takedown claim and they take it down, that's in the statute. That's in the statute. And then you file your counter notification and show that you've made a good faith effort and you've assessed it under fair use. They have to put it back up. And then the other person has X amount of days to sue to take it back down, right? That's the law. That's not YouTube policy. That's how the law is written. YouTube follows it. And the Congress did it that way so that companies wouldn't have a non-uniform way of doing it. The funny thing is places like Rumble and other places, they don't follow the law. They don't follow DMCA. But nobody really cares that much.
Do you think in a weird way that maybe Shuli is raising these funds for this lawsuit because it's going to cost him more to sue Stuttering John than what he could potentially win back? Because like Stuttering John, like he's no Vin Diesel. Let's put it like that. Like he doesn't have the big checks coming in, so it's like whatever Shuli's raising, it's going to be more than what the courts insist on paying him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a judgment and collecting on a judgment are two very, very different things. But sometimes the principle behind that judgment is worth it because the next person might have the resources to go after. You know, the next person might not want a $100,000 lawsuit, and having that judgment and saying, I am willing to do this, and so are my fans, so leave us the fuck alone, or we will come wreck your shit. Like that can be useful. Now, the problem is that a false DMCA claim is really fucking hard to win in court because you don't have to be right on your copyright takedown. All you have to do is put a good faith effort into being right on your copyright takedown, which is outside of an admission from the other party is pretty hard to prove. If the other party's like, no, I thought he stole my stuff. Like Stuttering John can always hide behind, I'm not a copyright judge. I am just a content creator and he stole my content, I think, and I looked at it and I don't think it's fair use. That absolves you of all responsibility. Legally, that's how you win that. But if he's got statements like he's doing it for some other purpose, that's where you can start to attack that. But these cases are obscenely hard to win. Very rarely do they do so.
Connor, thanks for the 2. Nick, why is Mersh so butthurt towards you?
Is Mersh butthurt towards me? I hope not. I would assume, though, that if he is, it would have something to do with his relationship, which I had nothing to do with the breakdown of that or how it happened. I don't like. I felt really bad for Mersh. I didn't know any of that was going on or anything. I don't know what people think about it, but I thought that was really kind of a shitty thing that he's had to go through, and it sucks. And hopefully he'll come out of that on the other end.
I thought it was funny as
sucks.
fuck what happened to Mersh, to be honest with you.
I've always liked Mersh. I don't think, I don't want to see that happen to anybody I know.
I've literally had 5 wanks a day thinking about him crying. It's funny as fuck when you think about it. Right, Lemmy?
Right.
See, Lemmy's on my side, Mersh, you piece of shit. Lemmy.
Charlie McDennis, thanks for the 5. I've been indifferent towards Nick since he entered the Onionverse, but after the reports from Friday, I'm a huge fan. Nothing but comedy on the stand.
Much appreciated.
And no spoilers, please.
Nick, is there a danger though being a smartass on the stand and getting the judge pissed off at you?
Yes. One thing I can say is I was almost held in contempt of court twice, but I was not held in contempt of court. I will also say that it was 100% worth it. Now I can't say because there's a bullshit gag order. It's technically not a gag order. That's an improper term. It's a sequestration order because they didn't want witnesses influencing other witnesses during the collection of evidence. But the collection of evidence is over and there are no more potential witnesses, so the sequestration order being extended doesn't really make sense. I am going to ask, my attorney is going to ask the other party to join us in requesting the lifting of the sequestration order so that we're able to discuss freely and exercise our First Amendment. The other party will have the opportunity to either say, yeah, we agree with that, or no, we want to have the sequestration order and not be able to talk about it under a court order. It'll be up to them to do that. And then depending on their answer will kind of dictate the approach that we take with the court.
We'll wonder where that would go, right?
We'll see. But to have a prior restraint on speech without a valid government reason, the sequestration order was based on the idea that the court needs to prevent witnesses from tainting other witnesses, right? Even if some were already tainted. But that was a bad joke. That was a sex joke. I'm sorry. No, so that was the idea. Well, that's no longer necessary. So the sequestration order being extended is now just an ongoing violation of the First Amendment. If we get the other party to agree with us and we make a joint motion, I think the judge would be willing to drop it. If the other party is unwilling to agree with us and opposes it, it might be a little bit of a fight. But, I believe in the First Amendment. I like fighting.
And hey, Adam.
Hey, Dirty Rat.
Dirty Rat's a good boy. He is. Check him out on the YouTube channel.